Okay, guys, we're going to run now. We're going to start off with a video. The USS Kidd. So it's a Tier 8 U.S. Navy destroyer, World of Warships. So what we're going to do is look at first a reintroduction of the ship by, what's his name? Lord C. Mountbatten. So this is a Tier 8 U.S. Navy destroyer. And then we'll play one game, because I've got the U.S. Navy Kidd. We'll play one game with it after watching the video. So, without further ado, let's go to the video right now, folks.
Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. Today I'm talking about a ship I wanted to make an updated video on for quite some time. That is the Tier 8 Premium American Destroyer, the Kidd. Now, the Kidd is special to me for two reasons. First off, it's one of the first DDs I got my hands on in this game. I bought it way back in 2017, not too long after she came out, because I didn't feel like grinding up the American Destroyer line, and 2017 Mountbatten made that mistake, and that's why I keep telling you guys, don't make the same mistakes as I did back in the day. Don't buy into a high-tier ship. You have no idea how the ship is played and no idea how the class is played, because, God, I had a terrible time in the Kidd back in the day, and that's why my stats in it have been terrible and continue to be terrible because of 2017 Mountbatten. They kept trying to make this ship work when he had no idea what he was doing. But anyway, that's one reason why. Second reason why is because this is the closest museum ship to myself. I'm a mere around an hour away from the Kidd, and it's one of, I think, one now museum ships in Louisiana. We used to have two, but the gearing that we had was sold to, Jacksonville, I think, in Florida. Moved over there, got a nice new paint job and all, and now she's up on display over there. I think it's the Orkin. I do believe that was the gearing that was sold to Florida. But anyway, so the Kidd's also really neat because it's the only Fletcher left in the world today that's in its original World War II configuration, and that's why they used her for the movie Greyhound, which I did a movie review on, but Apple TV doesn't like that, so they removed it off the channel, unfortunately. And it's a really, really, really good museum ship too, an excellent one, and one that I'm hoping to go to fairly soon and do an updated real still video on. So that's why the Kidd's special to me. Why could it be special to you? Well, the Kidd has a couple, one main selling point back in the day, and that is her AA. Now, what the Kidd is in game is a Fletcher down tier to tier 8. And she's had one of her torpedo racks removed and replaced with some more Bofors. But on top of that, too, the AA has been switched up quite a bit. She has a whole lot more of the dual mount Orlikins, which on the normal Fletcher, I believe, are just single mounts. Like I said, she did get some more of those glorious, glorious Bofors bolted onto her decks as well. And then the main battery guns also are all dual purpose. Now that right there, that's a pretty good base AA set to have. But with the Kidd, it gets better. She gets access to the DFAA consumable, which increases her continuous damage by 50% and the damage from shell explosions by 300%. And it's active for 40 seconds, the build that I have on it. Reloads in 76 seconds, you get 5 charges of that. Now, today, that means she has the ability to not delete entire squadrons, but certainly make the CV's life a little bit more painful. Actually, a lot more painful for most CVs. Back in the day, though, back in like 2017, 2018, pre-CV rework, the Kidd was essentially a no-fly zone because you didn't dare go near a Kidd with a CV, because once they popped that DFAA consumable, your squadron was essentially dead. Of course, very good CV players could manage to avoid this, but for the vast majority of the CV population, it was a death zone to go anywhere near the kid. Is that true today still? No, not really. She still is one of the better AA ships because she was so busted before the CV rework, after the CV rework, and after all the changes were made. She wound up being one of the still better AA ships in the game, and one that you can absolutely still count on to shoot down at least a handful of planes when the CVs try to strike you. And there's of course things that you can do to bait that out and make sure that you take the maximum amount of planes with you, like using her great range. For example, her AA range is out to 5.8 kilometers. So you turn your AA off with the CV, get a little bit like halfway within your AA range, like 2 kilometers from you, basically let them assured spot you, pop your AA on, pop DFAA, and you're going to make that CV's life painful for the next 40 seconds if you don't outright take his whole squadron with them. You don't really do that with most Tier 8 squadrons with like Tier 6 planes. That's definitely going to happen. Tier 8, you're probably going to wipe out half their squadron if they're not used to dodging flak just yet. Tier 10, you're going to take a fair chunk, and again, it depends, like the German planes have less HP and some planes have repair parties on them and such, but overall, it is a very good AA boat, and if you don't like CVs, this is certainly one of the ships you should pick up if you're a good DD player. But the AA is no longer the main selling point on the kid, unfortunately. It's still one of the better things about the ship, and one factor that, of course, I'm sure most players do consider when picking her up. So what even is the kid good at now if they've nerfed her main selling point? Well, the kid, from my experience at least, is an excellent cap contesting and cap fighting DD in most cases. Why? First off, this is a Fletcher class destroyer, which is a tier 9 in this game. The kid's a tier 8. So you've got the Fletcher base at tier 8 with its 5-inch guns, 5 American 5-inch guns, those lovely 127mm guns that we all know and love, or despise, depending upon your experience with them, that have a pretty darn good reload time too. She has a reload time of 3.2 seconds with the build that I have on her at the moment. They also have a fantastic 180 time of 5.3 seconds, again with the build that I have on it. And her HE shells do a maximum damage of 1800, which of course isn't as great as some of the new DDs we've gotten since the kid's introduction, but they have a 6% chance of causing a fire, and they can pin 21mm of armor, and they come out the tubes at 792 meters a second. And they do also have the shells that are made by SpaceX. That's why they have these suborbital firing arcs, it seems, which is great for lobbing shells over islands, which most of the American DDs like cruisers and heavy cruisers are quite good at, but that does also, of course, increase the flight time to the target. So at range, it's pretty rough at range, which is why I gave up trying to build into that. With a 12.1 kilometer main battery range now, which you can get that out to, I think, 14 kilometers if you do want to build into that with the AFT skill, whatever it's called now. But that 12.1 kilometer range does sound fairly short, and it is. But the kid has a very nice set of tools for simply just running over other tier 8 and below DDs. So again, it's a Fletcher at tier 8, so you have the guns of the Fletcher, the firepower of the Fletcher at tier 8. But on top of that too, you also get a heal. They gave the kid a heal. You get 4 charges of this heal that repairs 117 hit points per second. It is active for 28 seconds, cools down in 76 seconds, and you get 4 charges of that. It's a very nice heal. On top of that too, you also get the good old American smokescreen. That's active for 30 seconds and sticks around for 124 seconds. Which means that by the time your cooldown time of 152 seconds passes, you're only about 30 seconds away from having another smokescreen ready to go. So that's great for, not of course fully diving into the cap, but backing into the cap at the beginning of the match and just getting your stern in there, and you are still a pretty darn stealthy DD, 5.8 kilometers with the proper build, which means you're only going to be outspotted by the Japanese torpedo boats, if I'm correct in my limited destroyer knowledge, which means that those boats that can outspot you, if you spot them, which most of the time from my experience, especially at running to like tier 6 and tier 7 DD players, they've overcommitted to the cap, so they're bowing to you, so they probably are about to stumble into you shortly after they spot you, and you can just murder them because, well, you're a Fletcher at tier 8. And that heal allows you to be a little bit more aggressive with going after other DDs, because you have a heal. There's not a whole lot of tier 8 DDs that have heals, even still today. What, almost 6 years, 5 years after the kid's been introduced into the game? So you've got that going for you, so that means that you can, more often than not, out-bully the other DDs for the cap, take the cap for your team, and then you're free to roam around on your side of the map, which means you're able to get into positions where you can hug an island, throw some shells over the island, start farming down the enemy team. Now, unfortunately, in all the games I had tonight trying to capture some footage for the kid, my teams were, well, there were 12 members on my team, but let's just say not all of them were very interested in teamwork, which the kid's a great DD. It is a fantastic DD if you have teamwork. If you're out there spotting for your team and they're shooting the radar ships that can spot you in your smoke screen, and you've got multiple ships on your flank, you've got, say, another destroyer with you, you're able to pop your smoke screen and do a little bit of farming, yeah, you're going to get some big damage numbers. But in my experience, especially recently, I've had a whole lot of games when I've only done like 39, 40, 50,000 damage, but I'm like 1, 2, or 3 on the team because either I was capping, I was spotting, shooting down planes. That all, of course, adds into your XP calculations at the end of the game. So in most cases today, you certainly won't be, of course, hauling in mountains of damage and such, but you can still do what needs to be done in the kid. You can cap, you can spot, you can, of course, shoot down those planes for your team, and it's, of course, a great ship on something like Standard Battle when you have CVs involved, because you can go into the cap by the time you've managed to murder the enemy TDs and be a little sneaky ship, get into the cap behind the enemy team, and the CV goes to do something with you. One, you've got your American smokescreen, which is going to almost last you the entirety of the cap's cap duration. Two, you got your AA to back you up. You can definitely make that CV pay for trying to blind fire you in the smoke, of course, if his planes are spotted. Again, throwing it back to the teamwork there. But it's an all-around really good DD for someone that's looking to get into destroyers. Now, like I said at the start of this video, I'm not saying drop what you're doing right now and go buy this tier 8 DD if you have no DD experience whatsoever. Absolutely not. But if you're a DD player, you're looking to get into the American line, or maybe looking for an American destroyer commander trainer, you can certainly take the kid. Because, like I said at the start of this video, talking about the ship's AA, certainly has been nerfed a lot to where you won't really be building into it too much anymore. So you're going to be using the same commander skills and modules that most other American destroyers are going to use. So it's a great American destroyer commander trainer. And again, if you do want to troll the CVs, you get 2 of these things in a division together, you are absolutely going to murder the CV's planes. So it's still good for that. And again, it's a wonderful teamwork DD. If you've got like 2 buddies in a division and you guys want to work together and mesh together, one of the best ships in the game for that. But again, in random battles by yourself, it can be a little frustrating to use, again, with those slow American shells and the insane arcs of these shells as well. But again, a great DD nonetheless, still in my opinion today. And of course, if you are a fan of American destroyers, you probably already have the kid, but if you don't and you're even thinking about maybe picking her up.
Okay, so what did he just say? He still thinks it's a great destroyer? A great thing to pick up. What's up? What else is he saying? Let's listen a little more carefully here.
It is one that I would definitely pick up. If you're an American DD player, you can do way better in this thing than I've been doing, of course. So guys, let me know what you guys think about the kid in the comments down below. Have you picked her up yet? Are you thinking about picking her up? Let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you had, make sure to drop a like.
Okay, so what do you guys think of that? That's the U.S. Navy kid tier 8 destroyer. The tier 8 destroyer, U.S. Navy kid. Let me know what you think. Post in chat. Now, I may not respond to your chat. So what do you think about that? So let's look at the kid in port now. Yes, we're looking at the kid in port now. Now, if there's any issues with audio, video, just let me know, and I'll definitely respond to that. We've had these things happen. That crap happens when you stream. It's just the way it is. Just the way it goes at times, folks. Not much you can do. Okay, so we're in the U.S. Navy kit here now. I got a 19-point captain honor. So let's go into a random battle. See what happens. The only way to find out. The only way to find out is just dive right in. That's right, folks. Dive right in. Okay, so wouldn't you know it, here we are, right off the bat. Bottom tier against 9 and 10. Wargaming, screw you, pals. But more often than not, it's a good challenge just to see what your level of play. But one game's not going to be the indicator of the overall adeptness of the players. But darn it, if you can cut it when you're bottom tier against top tier ships, it's a good experience just to hone your skills. So there's no CVs, so we can't compare how this is going to work against airplanes. Unfortunately, this is the whole purpose for it. We're going to do a second game? I don't know. Well, maybe we will. Wargaming just does not make it easy. But then again, this is what life's about. You don't know what's going to come. Hey, you don't know what apple's going to drop till it actually falls. It's a William Tell thing. Oh my, what do we have with us here? We got a Nevsky. Now this is going to mess up how I got to play this. Maneuver about. I can't do any dipsing and doodling because this guy right beside us. So what are we going to do here? Got to make some room. We'll use this island as cover. Let this guy go out a bit. There we go. Thank you very much, sir. Grazie, signor. Merci beaucoup. Ngoai shishia kamsamada domo. Grazie. Danke, Sean. Oh, crap. Here's a Marcel. Got no torps. Not a single thing there, Gov. Load him up. There we go. Finally.
Enemy battleship detected. Enemy battleship detected.
But taking on a Marceau is not a good thing with this ship. We've got this friggin' Smolensk around the corner now, too.
Smoke generator started. Smoke screen set.
Okay, so we got a Jinan and a Nevsky here now. Gotta watch, there's a Smolensk on the other side. Just up here on this flank somewhere. That's probably him shooting at the Nevsky there now.
All stations, concentrate fire.
Looks like the North Carolina got a half decent hit on him. Marceau. Okay, so we got to be very careful. A lot of very much more powerful ships on this flank than what we can deal with. And that stands to reason with any. It doesn't matter what destroyer. Smolensk has got the good 130mm guns. Quick reload. Wipe us off the map really fast. Can't spot too much. We don't seem to be finding much. Still got smoke for those guys.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Okay, they're down 2. We're down nothing, which is good for our team. I'm sure Montana would not be pushing up, but what are you going to do?
Enemy destroyer detected.
What can you do, folks? Okay, so there's a Smolensk there now. Let's see what happens. There's too many ships around us to friggin' start railing away
Concentrate
with our
fire on
guns
the
here.
designated target. Okay, so Jinnan's got a lot of torps. Looks like he's looking up to Enemy battleship detected.
the Ohio here. So all we're doing really is just doing some spotting at this point. But the Ohio's turning now. So he's going to miss those. Smolensk is there, out of range. These torps are only 8 kilometers here. Or 9.2, sorry. 9.2.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Let's see if we can get lucky on that. Ah, friggin' Alazuma? What the frig is that? It's an Alazuma. An Al Azuma. What the frig is that?
Enemy battleship detected.
Smoke generator started.
Pathetic friggin' gun spread.
Smoke screen set.
Enemy destroyer sighted. Enemy battleship sighted.
Okay, so we got 3 heals on this as well. Comes in handy. Okay, so our team's doing quite well. We're doing very, very well. So I'm going to head up closer to the cap of the opposing team and see if we can distract their team members, scatter their forces, seal up the win here. We're 6 against their 4. Haven't done a ton of damage, but doing a lot of spotting, which comes in handy. And there's this friggin' Ohio.
Critical engine damage. Problem solved, sir.
Okay, no smoke for 45 seconds, 40 seconds, thereabouts. That's okay. That's okay. Ohio's hurting now. Somebody's nailed him. There we go. Well done. Okay.
That's how it's
Our
done.
team is taking the lead.
We'll have some smoke soon. Should perma spot this Vladivostok, which is good for our team. Absolutely wonderful. Might even just take a run at him too. We'll see. I've got no issue doing that. Okay.
Smoke generator started. Smoke screen set.
Enemy battleship sunk.
Critical engine damage. Problem solved, sir.
Okay, so we got one torpedo on. We'll take that. Thank you very much. Took him out. Smolensk has got to go around the island. He's got to chase after us, so that's fine. We're in good shape here, lads. Good shape. Rather unfair, our 5 to their 1, but what are you going to do? We'll take it. Okay, game over. Last ship died in their team. Okay, so that's the HMCS kit, or HMCS, U.S. Navy kit. We do overall. I wouldn't have thought all that great, but still okay, not bad. Not too bad. We lived. The important thing, do a lot of spotting. Helps out. Helps out, as you can see. So anyways, questions, comments, throw in chat. Listen, thanks for watching, and we're going to sign off right now. Remember, love and peace to everyone. This Ukraine-Russia situation is not good. So send love and peace to the people of Ukraine and Russia. They're caught up in a power struggle which is beyond their... it's just bullshit. Not much you can do. Just friggin' bullcrap. People can do that, and innocent people have to lose lives because a few have these aspirations for power and control. Rather unfortunate. So thanks for watching, folks. Everybody take care. Have a great Memorial Day weekend in the U.S. And we'll talk to you soon. Ciao for now.